we're living in one of the most uncertain times of our lifetime, not of the world's lifetime, but definitely the times are pretty uncertain. And our ego, which is essentially just our mind unobserved, will do everything in its power to avoid uncertainty. This is why when we try and put ourselves out there, we try and start a new business, we're entering into a new relationship, all of like the warning signals go off, all of the warning bells go off. And essentially it's because we're getting out of the safety of the known and we're moving into uncertainty. The good news is that from uncertainty comes growth. We can't grow by remaining safe all of the time. And if we can lean into the discomfort that we're feeling right now, we will become a stronger version of ourselves. We will become more connected to who we truly are. So uncertainty in some ways is a good thing, even though right now in the state of the world, it doesn't feel like a good thing. And I'm no better. Like I've gotten wrapped up in this whole COVID thing many times. So what I wanted to do today is to give you 3 tips that will help you manage the uncertain times and uncertain challenges that we're facing. The first is we need to let go of our opinions. And this is like really tough because anytime you open up Facebook or Instagram, everyone's out there putting their opinions on what it is that we should be doing in this circumstances. Everyone has an idea of what they think is the best way to get through this, and they're loud about it, right? So when we get connected to our opinions, we then have to defend those opinions. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, well, no one ever states their opinion. How are we ever going to create change? But ultimately, this is a very egocentric point of view, basically believing that our voice is so important that if we speak up, the whole entire world is going to change. And I know that this will probably get like some sort of like backlash, but the fact of the matter is that God, the universe, whatever it is, whatever power it is, insert your word, a higher power of your understanding, has this under control, and everything will work out. And no amount of worrying, anxiety, stress is going to change the outcome of it. It's all going to end up working out. So there is no need for us to stand up on a soapbox and tell the world what they should be doing, whether they should be getting vaccinated or unvaccinated, or whether we should have vaccine passports. It's like this, we can just sit back and observe it all. The second, though, is that Dr. David Hawkins, who is I consider like my mentor, even though I never really met the guy, but I've read all of his books, I've watched all of his lectures, and essentially what Hawkins says was to avoid evil at all costs. So he just basically said, just don't engage, because when you're dealing with these evil energies, these dark energies, they'll essentially kill you, and you can see that in some of the anger in the posts. If you just kind of scroll through Facebook, there's some people that believe that unvaccinated people should be put in concentration camps, essentially, right? And I think that, if that was allowed, it might end up happening. But it's on the other side too. It's on the other side as well, of people being angry that people are not seeing the truth as they see it in their eyes. So when you can take away from these opinions, let go of your positions, you can kind of just step back and observe it all, and then you'll really be able to pinpoint where the evil is, and then you just want to avoid it. And so if you catch yourself getting engaged in politically heated arguments over Facebook, that could lead to someone coming to your house and killing you. Now, I know that seems extreme, but it's not that far off. So we just want to avoid that evil at all costs. That was the advice of Hawkins. That was the reason that he moved to Sedona out of New York City, because he was just like, I just want to get away from these negative entities. And the last thing is that the best way to change the world is to change yourself. I mean, this has been around forever. There's all kinds of people that say, beware of spiritual teachers that tell you to look within in order to create change. But pretty much every spiritual teacher over the history of time, all the great avatars of our time have said this, that the best way to help others is to help yourself by learning to understand what it is that you're still holding on to. And once you become aware of what it is you're holding on to and learn to let it go, you will no longer be triggered by anything out there. The state of the world will not stress you out, because you'll have this innate understanding that no matter what happens, even if you die, you're going to be okay. And I know that's a tough reality to face, but it is the truth. So when we learn to unprogram, when we learn to drop the fear, when we learn to drop the stress and the worry, when we learn to identify how our minds or our egos has created what our minds and ego has created to protect us from feeling this emotional pain, then we can allow ourselves to heal. And by feeling, in order to heal, you need to feel. So once you learn how to sit in the fear of this uncertainty, to sit in that uncomfortability and recognize that you're going to be okay, you're going to be able to handle this, then all of the stress, the worry, the anxiousness, everything that comes along with that uncertainty won't matter to you, and you will be completely free from anything that is going on out there. So these are the 3 tips to help you overcome these uncertain times, but recognize that uncertainty is where we grow. And you can either use this as an opportunity to go backwards or as an opportunity to move forward and connect to your higher self. Love to hear what you have to say about it. Leave some questions, comments below. I'd be happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching.